Okay, here I want to walk us through in detail how to create invoices for schools. So I want us to pay attention carefully and follow the steps one after the other. Firstly, before we get to this place, I want us to go to the setup and ensure that our account heads are created. So, what are account heads? If you look at this right now, I can create an account head for just primary. I can create an account head for just secondary. I can create an account head for early years. Then I can create an account head for admissions, for salary, for wallet, for store, and for sales. Now, why do I need to create this? Creating an account head for primary, I just want primary fees to be there so that when I go here, I come here and look at this, I can know, okay, for primary, this is how much I'm expecting. You can choose to have just one account head, which combines the entire school. Perfect. It's fine. It just all depends on your preference. So now, let's assume here I have a primary as a separate account head. When I raise invoices, which I'm going to show you shortly, I can see how much I'm expecting. I can see how much I have been paid. I can see how much I've been owed in debt. So now, if I go to my setup, if I go to my setup, most of the time you should have seen that switch up should have been set for your school. Go to manage account heads. Once I come to manage account heads, so if you've not done this at all, you'll notice that here will be completely empty. So what you are going to do is click on new account head. Let's say this one is school fees EYFS. Account head name is school fees EYFS. So all the fees for EYFS will be under this account head. I can come in here. Who do I want to be able to access this? View invoices, make edits, publish, and all. I want the admin to perform this task, and I want maybe the account officer or head of accounts to be able to do that. In this case, I can just pick account officer. Depend on what you name the role in your school. Select chart of account head. So ideally, in every school, this yes, there is chart of account head that is school fees. So school fees receipt is where or income is where all the money comes in. So now, let's say I can call it because I can't find school fees. I can just call it books or anything I call it. What is the fee type? Fee types are only account types. You can see by default is fee. When you see fee, what it means is that this is only for fees. You cannot use this for admissions. It must only be for fees. Now, admissions, this is only available for admission types. So you cannot use fee types in place of admissions. Store is only for store. Post entrance is only for post entrance examinations. Acceptance is only for acceptance fees. Wallet is only for wallet setup. Imprest is only for imprest or pocket money. Transcript is only for transcript setups. So if you want account head for just transcript, you have to select transcript. Salary is for salary setup. Service is only for sales and invoices. This works more for businesses and not schools or for non-school type invoices. Then we have the fund fair, only for fund fair. So the most widely used is fees because you have to use fees to create a lot of account heads. Now I'm going to select fee, currency. We have several currencies. I'm going to select Naira. What is correspondent? Correspondent is when a fee is paid or when a payment is made. These people will receive an email alert on each transaction. So if you want to be receiving notification on every transaction that happens, you can add as multiple emails as you can. So all of how do you add a correspondent? Click on add correspondent, type in the name, type in the email, and click on save. That's all. And they'll be added in the list of correspondence. So once any transaction is done under this account head, they will receive an email. Now we have payment mode. Do you want to accept online payment? If I click on this, the system will disable online payment completely for this account head. And if I click on this, the system will enable online payment and it will present me with all these options. So the option I'm going to pick is switch app. Once you click on switch app settings, you will now be presented with API key. Click on this and select what you will see here. In some cases, it can be school fees payment. In some cases, it can be general payment. Any name it comes to, select it. Now, you can see part payment settings. These settings, if you want to allow partial payment on this account head, whereby parents can pay multiple times on a single invoice, you can click on this, select how many times do you want them to pay maximum. You can put 5, you can put 10, depends on how many you want to put on a single invoice. If you don't want it at all, click on this and it goes off. Select the bank in your list of banks, select the bank that you want the money to go to once it's paid, and then add. So from your account list, if it settles in wallet, you will see wallet. If it settles in the bank, you see bank. Wallet means it's settling in switch app. So you can move the money from switch app. Bank means it settles to the associate bank account. So once you are done with this, you add. So once you add, you can see I've successfully added the account head, school fees, EYFS. Please go through this, repeat the process, ensure that you understand this thing very well. Once you do this, account head is set. You can add multiple account heads. You can do, you can even break it down as much as you wish. So the system gives you freedom to express yourself the way you want. By the time this is done, come to manage account heads. If you come to manage account heads, select this. You can now look for the account head you are looking for. You can see here right now, we now have school fees EYFS. If this is where I want to place, so let me come here. I can click on it. I click on next. So you notice what is going to happen. Everything here will be empty. If you look at the dashboard, I can see transactions that I do daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. I can see invoices paid, overdue, pending. I can see a lot of information here. So how do I raise invoices? Here you can raise invoices for a class. You can raise invoices for an entire school. You can raise for a year group. You can raise for just a single person. You can raise for different kinds of people. So I'm going to walk you through on how that is done. So from here, click on bills. Once you click on bills, I'm about to raise invoices. You can decide to change the logo to your school logo. You can also change the color to any color. By the time you are done with this, what you just need to do is click on save template. So you can see now that I clicked on this color, click on this color, the system is inheriting it. Check this, it's inheriting it. I can change save so that when my invoice comes, it comes with the standard template. Once it's done, go to bill setup. So this bill setup, what I'm going to do now is, if you look at your school fees, your normal school fees schedule, you can break down fees. Let's, for instance, you have tuition, you have developmental fee, you have PTA. So there are different fee items. So this is where we are going to do the settings. so that by the time you are creating invoices, only what you are going to do is to add the figures, and the system will generate a full invoice template for you. So, firstly, I need to add a category. Which category do I have? There are major categories. School fees can be a category, uniform can be a category, events can be a, so these are like the major items. So, this is what's going to happen now. Add, I'm going to call it school fees. So, now you will see category type iterative and cumulative. Iterative simply means that the invoices I'm generating are only for those items. But cumulative means the invoices I'm generating are holistic, and that is not what I need. So, what you will always need is the iterative approach. So, if you save school fees as the category you save, I can decide to add another one called uniforms, uniforms, and I leave it at iterative and I'll save. Now, let me now create field types. Look at the difference. Under this now, I can decide to add tuition. Tuition, the category is under school fees. Yes, an associate account head. I'm leaving it at school fees EYFS because I'm creating this bill for only EYFS. Apply changes to previous invoice. If you are new to educare, you don't need this because you probably may not have old invoices. So once you are done here, add. Notice what is going to happen. You can see that this fee type have added and it's associated with school fees. I want to add another one. Let's say sundry. Sundry is also an item of school fees. Under the same head, I can add. Let's say I'm adding cardigan. Cardigan is an item under uniform. I can click on this to add it. I can add um, socks. Socks is under uniform. I can add it. Developmental fee is under school fees. I can add it. Christmas party. Christmas party. I can click here under school fees. I'll add it. So these ones are enough. So right now, we've been able to create the categories and the subcategories. Right now, let's make the invoice. So for you to make invoice from the analysis dashboard, come to bills, just the same way we did here. Rather than going to setup this time, just click on create bills. If you click on create bills, it will bring you to an interface. Here, you can select the term, first term, second term, third term, or a full session bill. Anyone you are doing, you do it. So if it's first term, you select first term. Invoice title. So here, you can pick from pre-filled titles that we have here. You can pick first term. If you want to write your own title, you can click on this and you write your title and save. Let's say first term EYFS. And once I'm done, I click on here. So if I want to now add invoice title, I can call it, I just type EYFS, I will see first term EYFS. Here by default is normal invoice. So we have normal invoice and we have invoice in prospect. The only time you will use invoice in prospect is usually in third term where you don't know the classes they are entering for the next session, but you need to give them an invoice now so that parents can pay. Here, the system is going to ask you expected school. You probably junior school, expected level, you put the level, expected class, you put in the class, right? Here, you will now select the current class they are in. So that the system will know that this person is in this class, but I'm doing an invoice for the next class. Good. If it's not for third term and you are doing just a normal invoice, click on this and it will switch it back to normal invoice. Here, I'll select the year group, EYFS. Here, the system will calculate and tell me how many children are in EYFS. If I want to do for the entire year group, fine. If I want to do for just a particular year group, let's say nursery one. If I do nursery one, I can see the total number of children there. If I want to do invoice for entire nursery one, this is what I'm going to do. I can click on this. I can select just one person if I wish, or two, or I can just select all. Once I select all, this is what I'm going to do. I just clicked on select all. Next thing is I'm going to click on this empty space. This thing is very important. Click on this empty space, and if you notice that that list will go out. Clicking on this empty space is very crucial. If you miss to do it, you are going to encounter a challenge. Once you click on it, next is click on add group to list. Click on it and you receive a notification saying group added to list. So once you do it, if you go up here, which you mustn't always do, you can confirm that the children have been added. Here I only did two. Now let me clear this list. Let me clear this list. Let me come here. Let me select none. Let me select all again. This time click out, add group to list. So now, so once I add group to list, you should be able to now see all the children here, right? Good. So by the time you add it here, next thing is proceed to invoice. Once you proceed to invoice, under school fees head, you will now see those items you created. Tuition, I can see, I can put 40,000. Sundry, I can put 50,000. Developmental fee, I can put 20,000. It is not a must for me to fill in all this. So you can fill in now, you can fill in later, depends on your choice. Let's say this one, Christmas party is not for everyone. I can leave it. Let me create the item that is for everyone. I come here, I want to switch to uniform. I click on uniform. I can see cardigan. You remember when we were adding it there? I can put in 30,000. Socks, I can put in 25,000. So once I'm done, you can see that the system is automatically calculating this. Let's say I'm doing this for just a class arm, nursery one in EYFS, and I want to save this bill as a template so that next time, once I come here, I don't need to start retyping the figures or making mistakes. I can click on this. I can call it nursery one fee and I save. Once I save it now, you will now notice that I have this available here, nursery one fee. So next time when I get to this place, I will just click on this and click on this, and automatically it prefills everything. So once I'm done, if I want to write further notes, giving further instructions on the invoice, I can do that here. I can put a lot more information, format it the way I want here. If not, once everything is done here, allow instrumental payment on this bill. If you want to allow part payment on the entire bill by default, you can click on this, put in the maximum time you want. If not, you can still click on this and leave it at no. Append previous bill alias. So if you've been using this and maybe there are previous bills, you want to roll them over to the new session and close that particular bill, you can turn this one on. Imply wallet balance on this. So now, if parents have money in their wallets and you want the system to automatically take the money from their wallets and clear the bill, you have to select this. If you don't need any of these things, so now I'm about to generate a bill. Let me be sure. First term, here EYFS. If you don't, if this is not pre-filled, you will notice that it will be throwing errors. Now, by the time you are done with this, generate invoices, you will see what's going to happen. The system will be generating invoices. It has generated invoices for the entire class. So this is what will happen. If I click on view invoice, you can see now the invoice for the entire class has been generated. You can see it. You can see the breakdown. You can see the breakdown. So this is the invoice, right? Good. Now, let me close this. If I publish this bill, all the parents will see this bill, and from there they can make payment from their profile. So be very careful with this. If I retrieve this bill, all the bills that I created will disappear. I've retrieved all of them. So right now, I'll dismiss, click on analysis. I can see the bill. The total bill for these two children is 330,000, and I can see their names, right? Now, a situation whereby this particular child paid for Christmas party, but I've generated bill for the entire class. This is what I'm going to do. Click on not paid, come in here, edit this invoice. Once I click on edit invoice, from here, let's say Christmas party is 30,000. I can now add it here and add. And if this child doesn't offer socks, I can remove. Once I'm done with this, either adding or removing, or the price I put for socks was not correct, I can now change it and then re-add it back. Once I'm done, I will save the changes. Once I save the changes now, see what's going to happen. Click on this. Everything is changed. If I click on this, it will take me to the person's invoice. You can now see Christmas party. You can now see that the socks bill has been changed to 80,000. If I come back here, cancel here, refresh here, you will notice that the both bills are no more going to be the same, in as much as I generated both of them the same time. See what's going to happen. This person's bill is now 250,000, and this person's bill remains 165,000 originally generated bill. Good. Now, there are two modes of payment. We have the online payment whereby parents log in, make their payment, and the invoices are automatically cleared and the receipt sent to them. A situation whereby parents paid via direct bank transfer to school account or POS, and you want to accept it here, this is what you are going to do. Click on the not paid, scroll down a bit, select payment method. You can see different payment methods we have here: bank transfer, POS, web, and all. You can select bank transfer, select bank. You can select bank from the list of banks you have, the banks that the money was sent to, the particular bank the money was sent to. Generate, click here to generate reference, confirm the exact amount that was collected, select the date of the transaction. Now, once you are done with this, click on confirm payment. So I'm going to click on confirm payment. Confirm payment. Once I confirm payment, the system is going to issue me a receipt and also send the parents the email of the receipt. Look at this. You can see now it has changed from invoice to receipt. And you can see the status now is paid. If I scroll down a bit, I can see the whole summary and I can download the PDF. I click on this, can download the PDF copy of this. I can download the PDF copy of this if I wish. If I don't want, I can also share via WhatsApp or I can print. So this is what I'm going to see. Now, this is a situation whereby a parent paid full. Another scenario whereby a parent couldn't pay. Parent says, okay, I can pay for this three times, or I don't have the whole money. Let me pay part of, let's say, 100,000. In this case, I click on this still. This time around, I click on this. Just a moment. Okay. Just a moment, please. So, in this case, I will click on this. Here, if you scroll down a bit, notice what I'm going to do now. I'm going to turn on instrumental payment on this bill. Let's say the discussion with the parent is pay, they are going to pay 5 times. I can just give them 5 times max. I will save first. Remember, turn it on, change the figure, and save. Once you save, the invoice will change. At this point, the system will now, you will notice that maximum instrumental available is 5. If you scroll down, collect part payment on this bill. Click on this. Don't miss this point. Collect part payment on this bill. Click on it. In a situation whereby a parent says, I want to pay for only tuition, you can click on this part and put in the figure for tuition. That means the parent is only paying for tuition. But in a situation whereby the parent just paid 100,000, not really directing to anything, and you want to capture it in that invoice, you can turn this one off. So if his parent is paying for tuition, just put in the 40,000 and fill in other details, which I'm going to show you and confirm. If not, situation whereby parent is only paying 100,000 with no specification, you can just put 100,000, select the payment method, select the bank, generate reference, select the transaction date. It can be an earlier transaction. You can do earlier transaction. At this point, you will now see the option confirm instrumental payment. Once I click on this now, this is what is going to happen now. The system will now accept 100,000. So because I did not specify where the money, so you see what's going to happen now. The system have accepted 100,000 for he completed tuition and also reduced fee in other places. So right now, my total fee is 250,000. Now my sisters have collected 100,000 from those parents and the due payment is 150,000. Good. In a situation whereby the parent says, okay, I want to pay another one, I want to pay another one, and let's say you want to come and see, let me even see this parent's payment history. I can come in here. I will see that out of 250, this parent paid only 100,000. I can click on not cleared this time. If I click on not cleared, you will notice that the parent paid this at so time with bank transfer as a method. Let me collect another instrumental payment. Let's say another 80,000. Collect instrumental payment, yes, say 80,000. You can see that the system is already counting down. Total used is 1. If I come here, select payment method, select this. So you can always select the payment method, generate reference, transaction date, pick any of the transaction dates, and then confirm another instrumental. So you notice that there will be 2 instrumental accounts. So because the next payment is enough to cover sundry and cardigan, the system automatically clears this one, cleared that one, and took some part in another bill. Right now, you will see that the total instrumental is 180 and the due payment is 70. So this is what is going to happen now. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. So if I come back to this place now, and I want to now see, okay, this particular parent, remember, if the list is very long, you can always search, right? Now, let's say I want to search through Zuku. As I'm searching, the system is already sorting it for me. If not, I can leave it like this. So now I have 180 paid out of 250. Let me do the final payment. If I click on this, the parent has paid the final money. You will see that right now, 150,000 and so day and so time, another 80,000. So where parent is about to pay the final one. Because I have, you can see now 2 slots used out of 5. Because I still have a lot of time, I can still pay small, but I want to pay everything now. So I want to pay, the balance is 70,000 now. Or I can even just say, no, I don't want instrumental payment on this bill. And just say 70,000 and this one. And I'm paying the final bill This is what's going to happen now. What was going to happen. And at this point, I can now confirm the money in one payment. Just a moment. Go to this 70,000 and this. So let me even choose today as a payment. So by the time I do this and then clear, so now by the time this is done now, automatically I have cleared the entire bill. So I have my full receipt. You can see now no more uncleared, everything now is paid, fully paid. So if you come in here and you want to even see the history of this payment, so if you come in here, you will see that the two payments have been made. If I click here, I can see the history of this payment and how the payments were collected. So from here, you can issue out their receipts. If you want, these are the receipts you can download, you can share. So with this, you can be able to coordinate. Now, we've been able to do this. A situation whereby you have different discounts. Discounts is something that is very critical for every single school. So for the discount, before you even generate the invoices, before you generate invoices, but before you do discount, it is critical that you must have set up do your bill setup so that in case you want to do a discount on a fee item, the system will see it. So you have to do your bill setup first, do all your bill setup first before you go to discount. So once you go to discount, the system is going to ask you, do you want to do, so we have all kinds of discounts you can imagine. The system allows it. Let's say sibling discount, staff, or anything you want to call it. Account head is the EYFS, school fees EYFS. Then we have item scope and we have invoice scope. Item scope is when I am making a discount on just an item. Let's say I'm giving you 25% discount on tuition alone, or I'm giving you 25% discount on socks alone. So that is when I'm giving you a discount on an item. In that case, I will pick item scope. In a situation whereby I'm giving you a discount on the entire invoice, I will do invoice scope. So I'm going to do the both so that we can say it. So on invoice scope, we have percentage or exact fee. Percentage means I'm giving you a percentage of the fee, or if I'm giving you exact fee, I'm just giving you 20,000 as a discount. So if I'm doing percentage here, click on this, 5%. Let's say preceding invoice is the test here, and then I go ahead and click on this. You can see now I've created this sibling discount staff school fees and its invoice scope and it's 5%. Let me create item scope, sibling discount staff 2. This time around the same EYFS. I'm calling it item scope. Percentage, I'm giving you 10% of tuition, preceding invoice this, and here, you will now see this place to select. So here I can select tuition. Once I click on tuition, so here I'm giving you 10% on tuition. Once I click on this, the system have already created that invoice type, which is this. Right now you can see discount to EYFS, item scope percentage. Good. So right now, once you are done with this, you can edit, you can delete. Now you can even see more details. You want to see people that, so nobody has been linked to this. So once you are done with this, it is not enough. First thing is that you need to now link the children you want to benefit from this discount. So that once invoices are being created for them, discounts are applied to them automatically. This is very important. In a situation whereby you have done the invoices before you started creating the discount, there's a place I will show you that has to do with the recompute discount. So now let me link the children. Come in here, link discount. Linking discount, you can now, the system will load up. You pick from early years. You can pick the discount you want to link. Let's say sibling discount staff 2. Now you can see the total number of children here. So here you can just search for the child. So the system will ask you how many times you want the discount to be used. If you leave it blank, that means anytime invoices are generated for this particular child, it will definitely have carry on the discount anytime invoice is generated. If not, you can just put in two, maximum of two times. After that, it expires. You understand? Or you leave it empty. I can pick the child. I can search for the child. Let's say I want to do it for Obichuku or maybe multiple people if I want. That's all. If you click on link discount, see what's going to happen. The system will link this discount. If I come to manage discount again, you will notice that this discount is linked to two children here. And if I click on this, I can see the two children. You will now see that maximum usage NA, that means they have not used it, number of uses zero. So once I create an invoice now, you will see that this count will go to one and you see those discounts are applied and it shows in their receipts. So this is exactly how the system handles that. So once this is done, nothing else. Go and create your invoices and the discounts will be applied automatically. Situation whereby you've done this, you've raised the invoices and you didn't apply the discount, and now you want to apply it because you can't delete the invoice again. In this case, let me use another account head, but though it's not for this invoice, I can click on this, look for the unpaid invoice, click on this, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use recompute discount. Once I click on recompute discount, the system will now recompute the entire discount and now make it available. So with this, I believe you've clearly understood every single thing that has to do with invoice creation. And now, another thing I missed here is if you want to delete an invoice, let's say I want to delete this one, just a single item, I can click on this one and I can delete. If I retrieve here, this particular invoice will go. Let's say I want to recreate it. I can retrieve here and this invoice will go. I won't be able to see it anymore. It will be empty. So if I come in here, I won't be able to see it again. A situation whereby I created an invoice for the entire school or entire class and I realized that what I did was wrong or for experimental purpose, you can see it's no more here. I want to retrieve everything. If I come to bills here, I go to bill batches. If I go to bill batches here, I can see. So you notice the ones that the red is a bit darker means that I can retrieve them. The ones that the red is faint means I can't because the invoice have already been paid for or an item in the invoice have been paid for or a batch of invoices that one or two or three invoices have been paid for. So at this point, I can't retrieve them. So this batch of 32 invoices, if that all of them, none of them have been paid for, I can click on retrieve and all the invoice items will be retrieved completely and I can recreate afresh. So I can even edit the batch. I can edit the batch. I can edit single invoices in the batch. I can make some edits in the batch, remove some items I want. So I can remove some here. So these are the things that you can do. So take your time, explore, just a moment, explore and play around it before you start creating invoices. It's just as simple as it is. So if you have any more queries, any more concerns, kindly reach out to the support team. And if you notice another thing here, you will see the session. So different on different session, you can switch sessions to see the financial activities of different sessions. So we have all these things covered here. If you have any more queries, feel free to reach out to the support team and we'll be so glad to help. Thank you so much.